Gotta look dignified.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Such dignity. Welcome to The Mist, where a bunch of us nerdy folks get together, play some D&D. So glad you are joining us tonight. If this is your first time watching The Mist, welcome. Please follow Games Tavern on Twitch. It's free. It supports the show, the cast, and the crew. Remember, you can watch us on Twitch. All shows are uploaded to YouTube typically 48 hours later, so you can catch up on all the shows you may have missed. We're going to get rolling shortly, but first, some announcements. I don't know why I'm so cheerful. I'm doing horrible things to you people shortly.
You're just that excited about.
I guess so. I thought
awful.
I thought I was a good person.
I mean, it's all right. We'll get to that soon enough. But everyone, remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you also get a free Prime Gaming subscription. Prime Gaming subscribers support everyone on the show and get access to sub-only emotes and to a special subscriber-only channel on the TGT Discord.
And tonight, make sure to cheer on your favorite character when they do something awesome, because let's face it, we're all going to do something awesome. Your bits and cheers show your support for the characters. And we love you, our friends, for your support. Your subs help to support the Games Tavern production quality upgrades and help pay the cast so that we can make better shows for you.
And a humongous thank you to D&D Beyond for sponsoring this show. Go to dndbeyond.com right now, or after the show. Go after the show, or in another tab to check it out yourself. Make sure to do ! D&D Beyond in chat.
We also want to thank D&D Beyond, our sponsor, because tonight we are going to be giving away a digital player's handbook from D&D Beyond. Make sure you type in !epic, that's EPIC, and you will know that you have won if at the end we decide to call out your name. But you have to be present to win, and you have to be a follower to win. So make sure you type that into the chat. Again, that's !EPIC for your chance to win the digital D&D Beyond Player's Handbook.
We also want to give a shout out to Shard Tabletop for their virtual tabletop that makes playing 5e easier in person, or in our case, virtually. Shard has an amazing classic and reimagined selection of races, classes, and spells to choose from. And to make this announcement even better, just go to the Shard Tabletop link in chat and use the promo code TGTShard20 to save 20% on all subs.
Well,
is that it? Did I do a good job?
You did an amazing job.
So good, Daryl. So good. You know what? How about you continue that? Why don't we go into introducing ourselves?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Hi, I'm Daryl, and I play your Goliath fighter, Brigand Stonebeard.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jess Wade, and I play your Druid Tiefling, Bronlyn.
Hi, I'm Kyle, and tonight I will be playing your resident rogue, Salem Clyde.
Hi, everyone. I'm Laura Perard, and I am playing Kura, the human Twilight cleric of Selune.
and I am Matt Fellman, and I'll be playing the resident doctor tonight, as always.
And hello, Wild Ones. I am Bran. I am your resident DM, torturing these wonderful, wonderful people.
We love it, though.
Before we start, do we want a quick glimpse into the doctor's war journal? Tell us where we were last time.
Well, it's story time. So, let's see. Let's remember back. Yes, here we are. So, when last we left this intrepid band of adventurers, they found themselves in an odd landscape, expansive wasteland of pale, flaky, dry grossness. And they talked to the poisoner for a little bit and found out that this is the land of, insignificance. And so the party discussed while the locals did some trade with the poisoner to try and figure out, A, who the heck were they? Who were these people that they found themselves with? Some of them were a little more tight-lipped than others, but they also tried to figure out what to do with the young Casimir, the tiefling girl that was rescued from Starfall as it was destroyed.
Yes, rescued.
So then they decided to explore a little, and they went into a sort of meeting hall that was up on this palisades suspended above this dreary landscape. Inside, they found many wretches that were trying to become not worthy. They did a little experimenting with these wretches. They tried to figure out the two extremes of what happens. So if somebody is truly worthless, what happens to them? Well, one crawled down a chain and up the landscape, and suddenly they saw a gigantic finger come down from the sky, and then this craggy nail just scraped this wretch off the surface into oblivion. So they tried to figure out what the other end of the extreme was and pushed somebody to see one of these wretches to see if they were really very worthy. And this person went down and climbed down into the boil to center themselves or become less worthy. Salem decided enough is enough and followed this wretch down into the boil that now they knew was an actual boil on the surface of some massive individual or creature. Well, the rest of the party decided then to follow, and they climbed down the chain into the boil. And just as they were about to go, Casimir finally voiced an actual opinion and said that she did not want to go as they went in. And that's where we left it.
Whoops.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Everyone, you have made your way through the viscous film blocking sight into this festering boil that you now have climbed into. You've found footing. You are all slightly coated right now, and just a bit of a slime. The scent is particularly not pleasant. There's that sort of irony kind of copper scent that you would associate with blood. There is almost an odd fruity sweetness in there that shouldn't lead to anything good.
But that was gross.
And can we get to battle map 2, please? As you glance inside this now cavernous wound, the wretch that you had been following has gone well ahead of you. Every footstep is just this kind of soft squish underneath. There's a bit of give, but every time you lift up a boot, there's a bit of a sound as you peel away off of it.
I'm taking a little vial and like scraping some of the goo off into the vial and corking it and tucking it away for later.
Of course
All right.
you are.
I hope you have lots of vials because you're going to be collecting so much stuff over this time.
I mean, there's just a whole lot to experiment with.
We're coming across a lot of fluids, I've noticed.
So the wretch that went on ahead of us, he said that he was a little ways ahead. Where does it look like Where does it look like they're going?
As you glance forward, you can see what almost in a perfect world would be a bubbling spring of fresh, pure water.
Oh,
That is
okay.
not what it is.
Are you
It
sure?
is a. I mean, you can get a closer examination. It's not too far.
Okay, good.
We
But-
all know who wants to get a closer examination.
Mhm.
Hey, doctor, you want to check out that spring over there? Looks like it should not be here.
Well, certainly. I'll walk over to the spring. Is that the waterfall looking thing with the green stuff around it?
Yes, that is that seems to be the source of this.
Let's
fun.
let's move up together as a party, and I
Yes.
will
Sure.
I will examine it.
As
I like
you
that I'm
as you move forward, you can see the wretch very close to this bubbling pool. You see him quickly trying to dart his arm into the pool before yanking it away and sort of clutching at it. And you see him just kind of and then shove his arm again and then again pull away, just kind of holding tight and just kind of lurching over, clearly doubled in pain.
Sir, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you say that feels?
He does that slow glance over his shoulder back to you. It feels better now. He shoves the other arm in, and again you see him pull it away, and he's clutching.
My dear sir, what are you trying to get in there?
As you see closer, he holds up. You can see that it looks like that first layer of skin has been removed. There's that sort of slick, sheen to the skin that's clearly not the slime.
Gave himself a chemical peel.
Gave himself a chemical
Mhm.
peel.
No more epidermis, only dermis.
Who told you to do this? How did you come to know that this was here and to come down here and do what you are doing?
He glances, he's still holding up these limbs shaking, and kind of points a finger your direction. You told me to do it. You told me I was unworthy. He jams an arm deeper in.
Yes.
before pulling away.
Clarification, I think that we told him he was worthy.
You
Yeah,
are
he
correct.
came down
Thank
here
you.
in order to find
You're
out.
absolutely correct. Thank you.
But I didn't give you the specific instructions to climb down inside a giant boil on the side of a cosmic being and then shove your arm in a waterfall thing within it. How did you know that this was here to do this or to do what you're specifically doing now, shoving your arm in there?
As you are speaking, and he's trying to keep his attention off the pain and to your words, you suddenly see him kind of lurch back, like towards the pool.
Oh, we're going for full body.
You hear just a moment of "Ah!" and the voice is completely cut off. Seeping up from the pool seems to be a sort of amorphous blob of that substance that seems to have just extended out and pulled this wretch into it. And you can see him sort of struggling a bit and screaming in silence as the struggle just sort of stops, and he just sort of tightens and just kind of seems to float in this
I'm
mass.
documenting all of this.
Brigade then looks at Casimir and goes, "Okay, maybe you should have stayed with the poisoner.
She nods.
Hey, you want to stay with Bronlin over here?"
Right. Do you want to go over here?
She
Okay.
seems to read the situation for a bit and then slowly steps behind Bronlin.
Next time, young one, I would suggest when asked a question, you present your preference before we're about to enter.
I take Casimir's hand and I just kind of, talk to her in an infernal and tell her we're gonna scoot this way.
She stays at your side. She just moves right along with.
I push her not to my side. I push her behind me. Still
Okay,
holding
starts-
hands.
Regain starts stretching.
Light calisthenics.
Okay.
I
This is what
pull
I've
out.
been waiting for. This is where I shall.
I pull out 2 daggers, and I'm going to just study what this thing is going to be doing next. And with that, I'm going to use a new feature that I got with our level up, which is going to be my insightful fighting, where I will use an insight check against its charisma, and if I win, I get a advantage on all of my attacks against it for the next minute.
All right.
They're all sneak attacks when you got advantage.
Pretty much. Oh, Bran. Oh, buddy. Let me check what those are again. What my modifiers are on that.
That was intense for a check that probably
Probably.
any of you could.
Oh yeah. No. I'm not worried about failing it. I'm just like I'm thinking about
You want to see how gloriously
how unnecessarily over detailed I am in all of the minutia of its movements.
I feel like basically just don't get a 1. We would have got
Probably. That's going to be a 24.
It's safe to say you can gather a lot from his observation.
Perfect. And just so you know, that is a contested check for future purposes for you, Bran.
Oh, let's have some fun. Not even close. Okay.
I figure I'd give you a shot.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it. More so the slime appreciates it.
Oh, okay. Well, if the slime appreciates it, then I think we've won the whole night, right?
Slime.
I'm gonna say further aside from you getting your bonuses too.
Mhm.
You recognized, or when you were observing the final moments of this wretch, you noticed on his initial collapse in that he had raked his fingers out, and it didn't seem to do a whole lot. And the slime just seemed to just kind of reform over where those wounds were.
Okay. Good to know.
Again, doesn't have that type of time to think of this. I'm going to run up and attack it.
All right, I'm gonna let you go for it, and then we'll roll initiative.
Okay.
Oh,
Run up.
no, don't get between us.
Wait, I don't even see where you are.
You literally placed your icon
Oh.
directly between.
Crap! I thought that was the doctor this entire time.
No, I'm the one with the red hood.
Is that?
There we go. I throw these daggers right at your back. Give you the little bit of oomph going forward.
That's a 17 to hit.
And that will hit.
Oh boy, I haven't killed something in
Far too long.
That's a total of 10 damage.
10 damage.
Yes, and
All
I
right.
will like to remind you that my glaive is magical, just in case that does has some type of effect.
It very well might. You bring that glaive down hard, and you just feel it just slice through. It's interesting hitting an object that big and not connecting with bone. You're used to that sort of kind of lurch as a blade works through a body. This does not have that sort of resistance. It carves deep and sort of splits, and it just seems more watery and liquid inside. And it just sort of undulates and just like it's attempting to bring itself back together.
It's like when they blew up the liquid metal Terminator.
There you go.
It's kind of reformed itself. Yeah.
All right. I think everyone else, if you're getting involved, roll initiative.
Wait.
I rolled a 9.
Oh boy.
13 for the doctor.
13 for Brigade.
11.
30-20 for Salem.
Glad this
All
is a ooze. I'm pretty sure oozes aren't that quick.
Salem, you are primed. You saw Brigade just charge forward, so you
Okay.
you
I'm
are
going to
the
assume the doctor
there.
has a higher dex than Brigade does. Brigade has a 12 of the dex. So you're faster? All right,
Yes.
so you just making sure who goes before whom.
Oh, we tied. Okay.
Yeah, we both got 13.
So I am going to. I still don't quite like this angle that Brigade has put. So I am going to move about, say, about 15 feet, sort of in a semicircle around. And I see that the blade went through, not much resistance there. Is there any sort of, besides the wretch that was just absorbed, is there any sort of like more solid object in it?
None that would specify like a weakness or like organ. Like you can see bits and chunks of
Stuff.
various matter as well as the wretch, but nothing that would make you think, oh, here's a brain or a heart or anything.
Does it look like the wretch is still alive, or like kind of?
He appears to be
Fairly
quite dead.
Coming
Okay.
apart.
Okay.
Coming undone today.
Mm. Hashtag Mondays.
All right. So first, I'm going to throw one of these daggers, but I'm also going to include my hunter's mark in my initial assessment of the situation. This thing is now my target, and I'm not letting it go. So I am going to roll that attack.
Go
Oh,
for
that
it.
beautiful beam footage.
Mhm.
So that is 14 plus 4, so 18. I'm assuming that hits.
That will hit.
Okay. And so, oh no, little dagger damage, 1d4. So that's going to be 4 damage from the dagger, but also, let's just factor in 1, 2, 3 d6 for all that sneak attack and hunter's mark damage. 5, 12. Right, so that is going to be 14 damage.
All right, very good. You get a very nice arc when you throw that dagger. It sails deep into this creature. You're not aware of how much it actually hurt, but it obviously wasn't just a surface. So you went almost through the thing as it just kind of vibrates from the impact of your blade.
Mhm. And I think it's probably also good to note that on this, I'm not tossing it as a straight like point towards it. It's definitely going end over end because I want to try to create as large of a slice initially without it going full tilt through the thing.
Gotcha. All right. Did we decide who had more decks on there?
That'd be the doctor.
All right, doctor.
All right. Let's see. So the doctor is going to move 5, 10, 15 to get an angle on this amorphous blob, and he's going to pat down himself and then reach into his sleeve and pull out a stick that let's see, he pulls out a vial corker and unstops it and splashes it over the stick. All right, yes, that should work. And zoop! And as he points it at the blob, a ray of frost comes shooting out of there at it.
All right.
Let's see. Reached attack, so that would be 15. Actually, no, that'll be 17.
That's a hit.
All right. D8. So that'll be 3 damage. 3
right.
cold damage, specifically.
All right. As you extend and just send this freezing cone its direction, you start to see a bit of crystallization on the outer husk of it. And you start to see this crystallization down inside where Brigade and Salem had done damage. It would almost be beautiful in a different circumstance, but it is sort of crystallized and almost looking like stained glass from the frost.
Excellent. Oh, nope. I make sure it's starting to drip down towards my hand. I make it go coalesce down by the tip again. Okay, all right. And that's my turn.
Excellent. It is the creature's turn. So it's going to sort of undulate and burble, and it's going to attempt to just lash out sticky appendage towards Brigade.
Look out!
15?
Yes.
All right.
I'm big, but I'm
You're big.
Is it my turn now? No, okay.
Not quite yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, didn't we go at the same time? Or
We both had 13.
You totally did. You totally did. I am so sorry. It is your turn indeed. I was just so excited to blob at you.
I mean, hey, you got a blob, you got a blob.
that's fair.
Brigade, who is still shirtless, by the way. I totally left my shirt upstairs for them to put their unworthy gold and jewels upon.
Currently, there are people shoving coins onto the giant shirt.
Meanwhile,
So
back
you
on the
see-
farm.
So you'll see some of the runes that he has tattooed on his arm. They'll glow for a brief moment as he begins kind of flexing, and you swear he just starts to grow even larger than what he is. He grows a good 3 more feet to about a solid 12, and he also widens out. As I use Giant Smite as my bonus action, I am now considered a large creature, along with anything that I am wearing or carrying. I now have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws, and once on each of my turn, my attacks will deal an extra d6 to the target I hit. And
Awesome.
at the moment, I only have 1 attack. So, I'm gonna do what I do best. Will a 24 hit?
Definitely.
Cool.
No.
Probably.
It's a very shifty blob. It opened itself up to block itself. That is shit. That's a very good roll. That's 17 points of damage.
You bring the glaive down with such force, with this new impressive size that you've acquired. You split this creature right where it was starting to frost over, and about halfway through the wretch, you carve and just split everything in half as it sort of bubbles up a bit and just seems to sizzle and burn towards the floor.
So Barry just bring it down and start and like try to spin a lot of the goo off of the glaive.
I say with a hit with that, you have enough force to pull that off totally.
And I want to roar, but I don't want to blow everyone's eardrums out. But he roars. Just a.
Excellent.
Well, I'm sure you got a sound gate. You can let it go.
That's my turn. I have
All right.
neighbors. I have neighbors.
The slime before you, again, like I said, it sort of bubbled and sizzled and just sort of seemed to seep into the floor by your feet.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm gonna go collect my dagger.
Careful. Is it
As you
expired?
do,
Yeah, don't trust it. He's good.
I'm not picking it up immediately.
Okay.
I'm going over there. I'm waiting for it. I saw what it did to those things.
as you do, another one seems to bubble and shift from the pool.
Oh no.
Love that.
Oh,
If we're not out of combat, I'll move back because it's not my turn.
All right, I'm gonna say spawning into existence would have counted for a turn there. So I believe Gura, you are up.
All right. Seeing this other one come up from a different angle, I'm going to strafe a bit to my left and up there. And let's see. Yes, I can do this. I'm going to take hold of my amulet and stretch my hand out toward it. And I trace a rune in the air and push it forward, and that is my guiding bolt. Let's see what happens. It doesn't work.
Are you sure?
Very sure.
How sure?
As in, I rolled a 3, sure.
Oh,
For a total
7.
That's against. I
is
can't
it
remember
an
guiding
AC
bolt.
or
It's a
Yeah, it's AC.
is AC.
Yeah, it's a to hit, yes.
Unfortunately, you are correct. The guiding bolt just kind of misguided, soars just over this this amorphous.
I see what you did there.
Oh, the misguided bolt. Oh,
well, good night, folks.
Roll
You've been
credits.
All right, and Bronley, I believe it's your turn.
As all of this has been going, I squeeze Casimir's hand and I turn to look at her and I go, I say, right, fire or frost, pick one.
Fire.
Okay. So when it's my turn, I step forward ever so slightly to get in range, and I cast Create Bonfire, still holding on to Casimir's hand. So the blob is going to need to do a Dex 12. Preferably, if it wanted to roll like a 10, I'd be cool with that.
I highly doubt this.
Early, I think it would be impressed if it rolled a 10.
That.
Almost.
oh.
Bran,
I
I
mean-
know that I say please, but like, I don't actually want it. Okay,
We don't-
well,
We don't
Okay.
fudge rolls here.
Okay, but the the fire is still there, though.
Yeah, the fire's
right?
still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay, perfect. Well, the fire is there, and so if it doesn't move on its next turn, I'll, roll some damage for it. But I take Casimir back into our dark little corner, and I again put her behind me. If she wants to peek around, that's okay, but she needs to be behind me.
She definitely has the sort of the grip on your side and the long lean over to get a view of everything.
My one question, is it a absolutely no damage if it saves, or does it take half?
I believe that it's no damage because it is just a cantrip.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hey, on the next one,
If
it's hanging out.
top of the round.
Well, how much of what was the old blob is still there?
I'd say you can definitely tell where it was. There's definitely a sort of dampness in the area. There's probably a few little chunks of fairly solid pieces you could collect if you were so inclined.
Okay, but it's still probably a little too soon to chance actually picking stuff up, I think. I still have a few more daggers. It's fine. I am going to give myself a little bit of distance, though, and knowing that the doctor's like right behind me, give him a clearer view. But I will also now turn my attention towards new thingamabobber, and I can use a bonus action to move all of the focus that I had on the first blob over to this one. So that's what I'm going to do. It's another contested roll, but I mean, the blob could, beat. I don't even know if the blob can beat a 26, but
I can tell you now, it cannot.
There could be a 20,
and it still wouldn't. And
we're
spoiler.
in that territory.
Spoiler.
Where it's like nat 20 for a total of.
Okay.
Nat 20 still go to negatives here for some of these things.
I love that dread in the player's eyes. We're just like, nat 20. Okay, cool, but how much is that nat 20?
I guess in moving over, seeing what Bronlin was trying to do and what our, at least Regain and my attacks have done to it versus what the doctor's attack has done to it, I'm going to shout to Regain. Regain, keep it in the fire. Doctor, do whatever that thing you did again, and we should be able to take it out pretty quick.
Will do.
And I don't really have a whole lot else that I can do other than chuck another dagger at it and hope that maybe I cause it to not want to move forward.
And just for my own edification, for when my turn does happen, where exactly is this fire that you caused?
So it's the 5-foot square that the blob is on.
Okay, so it's directly on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it just kind of dumped a load of firewood, burning
that.
embers on top of this thing.
Okay, that was determining where
Better visual.
That was going to determine where I put my token. But copy that. It just has fire just on top of its face, or where a face would be.
Okay. So that is going to be 15 damage from another spiraling dagger.
Nice. Given your experience and getting a beat on how the first one was taken out, you keep to the music that you know. You send that blade sailing. It gives a nice arc and slice through before sticking again, sort of inside towards the presumably the rear of this thing.
Yeah, and I mean, not that the others would really know at this point, but my intent is again to keep it where it is, not to keep it from advancing towards us, not necessarily to inflict a whole lot of damage, just keep it where it is.
All right.
Yeah, I believe the doctor's next.
Doctor is next.
Right. Seeing that there's a whole lot of room between me and it, I'm actually going to back up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I'm going to back up to probably about there. As I'm backing up, oh, no, I need to put some distance. And I'm flicking that stick. All right, come on. And this blue light shoots out of it, and I'm like, oh, pointed at the thing. Ooh, 19 plus pluses is 24.
That's definitely a hit.
Another ray of frost, but 1 whole damage.
You see a nice, again, that sort of frosted glass look as the husk seems to be sort of collecting ice crystals.
Oh, come on. I need to up the dosage. That's all I got.
All right. Brigade.
Yes, Brigade does not run. Brigade Hulk leaps. Like just full up. It's within his range of movement, so I'm just gonna say he Hulk leaps all the way over there and just brings his glaive down. Just gotta stick to what you know, baby. It's not great. Not terrible either. 12 to hit.
That's a hit.
Cool.
I'd love to see it.
That's I hate that I rolled a 3 because if it was a 2, I could have re-rolled it. That's a total of 10 damage.
Total of 10. All right. Again, you sink this glaive and you're landing. You just dig deep with this wide blade, just sort of splitting this creature open. And you notice as the different embers and charcoal from the bonfire kind of spilling into the creature, you hear this just sort of sizzle, and you kind of plumes of dark smoke kind of starting to seep out from this wound.
Yeah. So gross. So very gross. But oddly pleasant to slice through it.
All right. Brigade, you're the first to notice this as you've landed nearby and done your thing. The sound of the constant bubbling and trickling from this pool seems to quiet down and stop. You're not getting the sort of bubble in the spray, but there is a slight tremor underneath your foot as you just see this large bubble seeming to push out from this toxic spring and sort of slowly form up near you.
There's always another one. Okay, everybody want to fight the big one now?
Or it's set to explode. Spraying
that is a
putrid.
possibility. Attack roll.
Oh no!
He uses what little. I think I only used 20 of my movement. So in my turn, I'm going to back up 10 more. That's all my movement. So that's my turn.
All right.
Got a question, because to
Yes.
me, it looks like this big old blob may be overlapping with the 5 square foot that the smaller blob is in. So I think
Well,
they
then-
both owe me a Dex 11 knowing that 12 is what they need to beat.
You know, that seems reasonable.
Okay.
Sound logic.
That is
Cool.
There's a
That is
tiny
pretty
little like
blob.
smidgen of the giant one, just like a tiny little bit. It's like next to an ember. 8 damage.
That's free roll estate.
Exactly.
The smaller one is still sort of eating and enveloping your continuous bonfire. So you can definitely sense that it's being burned up in its place there. The larger one, every bit of ember and fire that seems to roll into it just to get smothered and pulled over by it. So it definitely didn't seem to hit the larger one. But the smaller one is sizzling. You can start to see sort of, you know, blackened sort of bubbles kind of coming off of one of the sides.
For the
Okay.
sake of prosperity, since I am technically large, I'm gonna make my token just a little bit bigger.
Get on it.
Well, the smaller one takes 4 damage then.
right.
And with that, I'm sure it's been a minute and the fire kind of sizzles out. The big one just like extinguished the magical flames, you know? Gosh darn big blobs.
It happens.
Gross.
Let's kill this thing.
All right, Kurt, it is your turn.
Oh, that's an abomination. Yes, I'm going to raise my hand again, and once again, I'm tracing a rune in the air, and I'm gonna try this guiding bolt again at 2nd level.
You gonna go for Bob's big boy
Yes.
or the smaller one,
Oh, the
or little
big one.
little toasty?
I think they can take care of the little one. I'll get a start on the big one.
All right.
All right. 17.
That hits.
All right.
Shucka.
This is nice. All right. That is 20 radiant damage.
Wow. All right. You cast that similar rune. You hold up, and from your hands, just these traces of silvery light that just seem to arc around and just impact into this immortal. So you just see these heavy hits as something this size lurches back from the pounding of these silvery arrows. Thank you, man.
That's how that works. Yes.
Now you're dialed in.
And that's my turn.
All right. Bronwyn, you're up.
So Casimir and I have just been, speaking in Infernal the whole time. And I squeeze her hand and I say, "Do you want to see something cool?" And I cast Moonbeam over both of them. It is a 40-foot high cylinder, but it's just a 5-foot radius, so I kind of center it on both of them, and then I say, "Now we wait."
All right.
Wait for what?
Bronwyn's all
wait.
about Bronwyn's all about the long
The
game.
long game.
It's, Sure enough, as you clutch your hand, there's just a sudden, just solid beam of moonlight that just sort of illuminates this cavern of flesh, and just shines, and it's just
Oh, what a sentence.
As it comes down, I look towards Kura to see if anything is if she's excited or anything, because it's the moon.
Yes, I look back at Bronwyn and I'm like, I didn't know you could do that too.
And I give her the, don't worry about it.
Gan then turns into a werewolf. No.
All right, I believe we're at top of the round.
The small one is still kicking.
It's looking pretty worse for wear. Like I said, it does seem to have a crispy shell. There's a lot of blackened and bubbling spots. So it's looking, as far as blobs go, it's not looking great.
Okay. There's a good amount of stuff that I want to do. You let me know how much of it I can get done in one turn.
All right.
So I have one dagger left. I don't have any spells or anything like that like my party members do. No magical abilities, anything like that, other than what I've been born into in terms of hunting and tracking.
Okay.
But to make up for that, because especially some of my own family members who did know magic and aided them in battle, I picked up a little bit in terms of ingenuity. So what I would like to do is I have rope, I have my dagger, I have oil, and I have a starter. What I would like to do is I would like to tie one end of the rope to the handle of the dagger, douse the blade in oil, light it, and use that as a sort of kunai whip and throw it to induce fire damage and yank it right back so I can keep using it.
Normally, I'd say that's way too many actions, but damn it,
Right, that's what I was saying. Like,
damn it,
there's a
I want
lot
to see
there.
it happen.
Rule of cool, baby.
Rule of
Rule
cool
of
on this
cool.
one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to see this a thing.
Okay. So douse, 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 douse. I will go ahead and all the other ability stuff going on. And I get advantage, so a 12 isn't terrible. Okay, I mean, I know a 15 hits. It's not my best work so far, but I'm a little distracted with other things, so it's fine.
Even if you're experienced with these tools, this sort of situation really hasn't come up before. So
Right. It's a little distracting.
a little different.
Okay. So I'm gonna, I guess, roll my normal damage. Is there anything that you want me to add to that, Bran, or that I need to take into consideration when giving you the total for my damage?
Do your standard damage on that one, and then we'll just add I imagine a D4 of fire damage on top.
Sure. Okay. We'll do.
And we're not sending a catapult, of fire into it. It's still a flaming dagger.
Right. Yeah. There's a little bit of ow, hot.
Yeah.
Take that spell, though. Someone should definitely take catapult. as well.
Hot dagger is hot.
Hot dagger is hot.
That is 13 for the regular daggery damage, and another 4 fire.
Excellent.
Putting that flaming blade to good use.
Yeah. So as you swing that rope around, just get that perfect arc, and just send this flaming dagger sailing. It just kind of slices into this blob, just, pulling away, and you can hear that sizzle as it's sort of carterizing itself away from itself. So just that, and it just sort of collapses into 2 chunks before kind of vibrating and just breaking apart and melting into the floor.
Perfect.
Well done.
Thank you. Keep your eyes on the prize, Doctor.
Oh, of course. I believe it's my turn now.
It is indeed.
Oh, I'm also going to step 10 feet back. Just at the end of mine.
I'm gonna shuffle to the side there a bit and flick my stick to see if there's still some cool blue ooze at the end of it, and point it at it and shoot that light blue beam at it of frosty goodness. 13, 18.
18 will hit.
All right. Come on, damage. Only can go up from last time. 2.
All right. Given the utter size of this thing, the impact of the frost doesn't seem as impressive.
Yeah.
It's still giving it a nice hard candy shell, but it doesn't have that strong impact that you saw on the first one.
You do up the dosage, that's for sure.
Brigade.
Yes.
I'm just gonna get more and more extra as it goes. Brigade, you see he starts like kind of jumping in place, and every single time he gets a little higher and higher. Then he just jumps full force into the air and full blown attack on Titan starts spinning with his blade and comes down on the thing. It can't all just be meat castle, just 2 meaty men smacking meat over here.
Careful, if you get too acrobatic, it make you roll an acrobatics check.
I'm slightly moving the blob. I need to move there. All right. All right. Let me roll this. That's 22 to hit.
22 hits. Give me an acrobatics just for
Yep. Got
There
this
just for
it
essence.
is.
The hit
There it
happened.
is.
The hit
Okay.
happened regardless.
Just straight up actual acrobatics or that. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I assume it's the same.
Oh, that's a total of 4.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
So you got 1 loop in when you brought
fine.
it down.
I'm gigantic.
You're giant. You know, it sort of roofs out, not, you know. I'm gonna say you went
Do
for
I
the
hit,
full
I hit the
jump.
top? Like I hit the top and just
You
like
did that
gotta
little bit of-
save it.
You did that little bit of graze where you feel it kind of hit like head and shoulder, but it didn't like a full smack. But yeah,
Okay.
you come down and strike.
I still hit it though.
You hit it. Give me damage
Question.
on that.
Question.
Yes.
Did it still look cool to everyone else?
It looks pretty cool.
All right, cool.
It looked
Hey,
pretty cool.
Hey, that's why I described it that way.
Bronlin does not look impressed.
I mean, he gained an extra 3 feet going up and
You know,
coming
it's-
out. There
it's
was only
hard-
so much.
It's hard not to look cool when you are suddenly a giant.
You get a polite golf clap from Salem.
Yeah, I was like, all right. You know, he didn't trip over his feet. He didn't, you know,
Total
send his
15.
weapon sailing. So you know.
It's 15 damage. Well, I overshot the jump. Like I hit the ceiling.
The doctor didn't notice. I'm over here trying to pour more blue liquid on the
I
end of
full
the
blown.
stick.
I Saitama it like one punch banded, and just my head was in the ceiling for a
Stuck in
second.
there.
Huh? Did something happen? What happened?
Oh, come on, man! I do.
So again, you put a huge slash into this thing, and it kind of wobbles against. It's not that light vibration the smaller ones had. There's a lot more girth as it just sways to your attack.
And I take a few step backs. I don't have that much movement left, so I think I've been jumping 20 feet to get to these things. The life of a frontline fighter, baby.
All right. It is the blob's turn.
Both of them?
There's only one left.
There's only one
Yeah, the
left.
one
only,
got killed.
Nice.
only Bob's big boy there.
Well, if we could have Bob not succeed on a Constitution 12, that would be chef's kiss.
That's right. Moonbeams. Bob failed on that one.
Eee, okay.
Wait, why do we name him Bob also?
It's Bob
you call-
Blob.
Because you called him
Bob's big boy. but-
You called him Bob's big boy. That's why.
So it's engulfed in ghostly flames that cause searing pain, and it's taking 17 radiant damage.
Wow.
Ooh.
And then I squeeze Casimir's hand, and again, infernal. Told you it was gonna be pretty cool, huh?
Don't mess with the moon.
All right. Bregain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, I mean, it still gets a turn, right? Oh,
as you do your steps back, this form just seems to lurch your direction. You can see it attempting to chase you.
There's no shock here. I'm the only one still close.
As it does, you're noticing, whether it's coincidence or on purpose, you're seeing various bits of bodies that have been ingested by this thing sort of facing you. You see just a collection of skulls that seem to be clacking together that almost look like they're looking for you.
Oh. I wish I could say his perception's not high enough to notice it. He would notice that. And then immediately just stop caring.
As it lurches forward, the skulls just seem to illuminate and catch the light, as they just suddenly just seem this pale white just bouncing off of the bone that's in this thing. And it just seems to sizzle and almost just shred, like it's just being almost evaporated in this bright moonlight. And it just sort of lurches and burbles, and just, as it seems to be stumbling into itself, just more into this light, as it just seems to evaporate from the area.
Oh.
There. Hey, our holy rollers hit hard on this one.
Are you upset that you don't get to hit it more?
I was still in character. That was Brigade going, oh.
So as you're standing there at this weird sight of this blob just dissipating in light, as it's rolling into itself and disappearing, there's just the continuous just rolling clack of skull against your foot after another one, just sort of lying there at your feet.
Well, now
it's not the
the toxic spring seems to have calmed. It just seems to have dipped and ebbed and sort of gone into wherever it came from.
Well, that was pleasant.
I want to fight something else. Let's go. Come on, let's fight something else.
I'm wiping off my stick and shoving it back into my sleeve. Well, let's Rose.
Yes.
I mean, we did climb into a boil. I don't know exactly what you were expecting.
That is a fair assessment. Yes.
There's a pile of skulls over here.
More of the wretched.
I don't know if anyone was interested. It was inside of the big blob thing, and I was going to hit it again, and it just kind of burned away, I guess.
I turned towards the doctor to see if he's going to be the one to go up to the skulls.
Oh, should I check those out? I should check them out. See if I can.
It seems like a very you thing to do.
I can certainly do that. I'll walk over to the skulls, like cautiously looking around to make sure there's no other surprise blob, and I'll hit the skulls with the toe of my boot and make sure it's not like acidic or anything, and then tap it, and pick one up, and look it over. Can I tell what kind of being had this skull?
Give me a medicine.
Medicine, all right.
Put that degree to work.
The OSO official degree.
The official
Dirty 20.
And dirty 20. The skull you pick up, you're definitely able to tell it's dwarvish or dwarven skull. As you look at the others on the feet, they are not just the humanoids that you saw, or rather the humans you saw out there, but they all are of humanoid races, species.
Well, this one was a dwarf. This one was elf? No, half elf. You can tell by the holes right here. slightly off, more in line with the humans. Human, halfling.
2 Kid Yankee.
Yeah, it's yeah, we have quite a variety of beings here, not just the wretches that we saw up top, but can I tell how old they are at all? Like,
you can tell that they've definitely been damaged, but these seem almost preserved, being in this bath here. Considering that you didn't really see much of any other bodies, just the skulls,
it's hard to tell.
is a bit odd, but the skulls themselves seem, it's hard to tell. They seem fairly preserved.
Nothing inside. I look for brains.
No,
maybe.
no, it is as clean as could be. This is museum quality.
Part of me wishes that during that whole description, as you were saying it was done, I actually said insight check to be like, is this thing slightly intelligent right now? Is it actually looking at me?
So I'll keep this one just in case. And I'll slip one in my bag.
You never know when you'll need one.
If there's all these different races represented in these bones,
It's
What
mostly
does
just the
that tell us?
skulls. I'm not seeing many of the bodies. That's the interesting thing.
If it's just the skulls, it was keeping trophies.
That's my thoughts, but that's just an initial thought based on what we've seen so far.
but what makes me curious is that there are all these different races and we've only seen humans up top.
That is an interesting observation as well.
Maybe there's more deeper that don't go to the surface.
Might I offer a certain opinion on that?
Sure.
When you, when my brothers and sisters and I were hunting, we wouldn't keep trophies of the rabbits that we caught, or the squirrel, or even the deer. It was the things that we prized that we kept trophies of. There are plenty of them poor creatures up above that come down to it. The rare meal that would come to its doorstep, that's what would make me think you want to keep them. And as I'm saying this, I'm going to collect my daggers and make sure they're not still all acidy.
Yeah, you do the light finger poke test, and the acid seemed to have subsided from the blades.
Well,
If anything, they are cleaner than
I was gonna say at least
When
they're
you-
clean.
yeah.
Could I make a perception check to see if there's any more entrances into this or exits out of this room besides the way we came in?
Please do.
No, it's not one of the ones I get advantage on. But I'm not terrible with perception. I'm terrible with perception that time. I don't see shit. I'm still upset that I didn't get to kill the thing because I rolled a nat 1. Still, thought I'd get to stab it.
Your heart's not completely in it. You're sort of glancing around, and then you're just kind of looking down at the skull by your feet, and you're kind of kicking one a little.
Kick a rock. Shoot.
But on this glance, you don't spot anything out of the ordinary. Well, there's everything out of the ordinary here, but you don't spot anything that would signify an entrance.
Perhaps beyond the pus springs there.
Less springs.
Pus springs.
For lack of a better term.
Welcome to Scenic Pus Springs.
The ooze hole? Is that better?
I really like pus spring.
The way that everyone's looking at me, I feel like it was not better.
Is anyone else gonna check
Sure.
or specifically look for?
Well, I think what I'm going to be looking at right now is, was there something that who we followed in, was there something that they were reaching for, or were they just trying to, get a nice spa day in?
At this point, it's pretty difficult to tell. They can't explain themselves. They've been partially digested and then split in half with a glaive.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'd imagine that would make it difficult. So what I'm doing is I'm like actually like looking into the pond and into like the area, or into the pond and the area around and like behind it.
Give me a perception.
Oh boy, can do. I can perceive things.
Be our tracker.
Be our tracker.
I go kill it again.
Oh boy.
I love that.
So that is a 15 plus 5 plus 4.
That's a lot of numbers you just shouted at me.
A 24.
Thank you. What do you want to check out first? Do you want to check out the pool or the surrounding area? Right,
the pool is definitely my first thought, because it looked like there was something that he was reaching for initially. I couldn't tell if there was actually, but I want to be sure that there's maybe not something in there that he was trying to get, because that might tell us what exactly this all was supposed to accomplish. Barring that, seeing what else there could be here to do this cleansing of worthiness, and then allow them to ascend back up to the platforms.
All right. On your examination of the pool, now that the slime is mostly cleared, you can look inside this dip, and it's probably only about 4 or 5 feet down. It looks like this ooze seems to be coming through the fibers and the muscle tissue, coming into this pool that's being assembled or made. Right now, it's obviously still covered in filth, but you can look in there and you don't see anything that draws the eye, anything that would look like an achievable goal for anyone down here.
Okay, and I guess I should also explain my anterior thought process to this, is that usually there's some sort of like infection or something that causes a skin lesion like this.
Oh, it's definitely an infected area.
Right. So looking for what's causing the infection itself is like again
based upon the coloration of this, it seems to be something rooted deeper. Okay. You can see where there's definitely the irritation, and where we're going in full medical exam on these now.
This is the terrain. This is the
medical, you say?
It's gonna borderline be like how we had to get down here. Like we had to slice through the thing. Yeah, we're gonna have to slice through.
Gotta grab my Grey's Anatomy book. I'll be right back, everyone.
Sounds good.
You definitely see irritated, just sort of lesions and just sort of slices towards the bottom of this pool.
Okay.
What more than that? You do see on the wall, behind the pool on the other side, there seems to be a bit of a crevice, a bit of an opening that looks like it's been sort of carved and sort of almost scabbed over and sealed up.
Okay. Is that seeming to be more inflamed tissue in that area too?
It doesn't look the same. This looks much more like an old wound that just has not healed properly. It has not been let to heal.
Okay.
Again, like similar to almost as if it was cauterized, so it would not close up and heal.
Gotcha. Okay. Hey, well, clearly there's something causing the excess infection, but there also seems to be a cauterization along that back wall over there. There's probably something further back beyond it. And saying this to no one in particular, just out loud to the group.
Do I get to hit a wall?
There's plenty of wall for you to hit.
Okay.
Could we fit back there behind the falls?
Well, I mean, I certainly can. Maybe Ronlin, but and yourself, Doctor. But Regain, as you are, I'm not so sure about yourself.
I'm
What are you talking
imagining Brigane Kool-Aid Manning through this wall.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What are you talking about as I am? Oh, yes, I got bigger. Hold on, give me a second. And the brood started, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about it.
I am focusing on those runes very curiously.
Is that an ability of yours, of your kind, or is that something the tattoos give you?
I learned the runes. I harness the power. It's my magic. No.
Could I perhaps bulk up with some of those runes?
Doctor, you have to eat a lot more chicken and meat than that.
That's more than fair.
I pipe up and say, but not his chicken.
Not the solo chicken.
No.
Here we are learning. Okay, where am I punching?
Leave behind the falls, you said?
It's just like I have one of my like the dagger that I just picked up, and I point its tip towards that scabbed area.
Like right here. I'm assuming this is it.
Yeah,
that'll
right,
work. Just the
right in
back
the middle
wall.
of the pool. Right in the middle of the pool. Just stand there. You'll see it eventually.
No, go around the falls.
The balls? Go around the balls?
The falls.
Oh, the falls.
That's the next episode when you go deeper into the Titan.
Like no. Just take a step back. You'll see it. Just look around in the pool. You'll see it eventually. I just point
Giving the
out.
pool a wide berth.
I just punch it. I just punch whatever the hell he's pointing at and start punching and kicking.
Give me a roll for that attack.
I'm gonna use D&D Beyond to see. Don't screw me, D&D Beyond.
I stay back. Oh, okay. I
14.
stay behind Kura, and I keep, the child behind me just in case there's like an acidic splatter or more ooze, just anything.
14.
Someone needs to be cautious.
Any other grossness that might come out of there?
Exactly.
14. It feels like you're punching a solid wall of meat. I don't know if on any of your sea voyages you punched a whale.
It's a shock.
Did you punch it before?
It was trying to eat me, and I ate it first.
That is the law of the sea.
I was, well, at the time, I was just kind of floating in the water. And it thought I was a seal. Anyway,
I'm gonna say as you continue to just wail against this wall, you see it trying to slowly part away from your advance. It looks like it's starting to open because of your presence, because of your activity. It seems to be kind of skirting away from your assault.
yeah, I'm just full blown Mike Tyson on the heavy bag right now.
Yeah, you are punching a pathway big enough for you. The pathway may have been fine for everyone else, but you're taking the lead in building a better way.
I gotta get in there too.
This is fascinating. This must be what germs are like inside of a normal body. Interesting.
All right. This assault goes for several minutes as you continue to rock your way through. And suddenly, as that last little bit seems to open up, you're greeted suddenly with firelight. It sort of catches your eyes in a bit of a surprise. And that's where we're going to stop. And we're going to go on break.
Break time.
Think we got some mid-show announcements? Yes.
We do. While we're on break, pop over to our Patreon. The Games Tavern Patreon is a great way to support the show, and it gets you useful perks and some awesome content. The latest updates for it include early access to interviews from the Games Tavern Happy Hour, miniatures paint plans from that minis paint show, and battle maps and plugin encounters for your games. Just go to patreon.com/thegamestavern, all one word, and get your hands on what we've got available to you there. Some recognition for some of our regular Patreon supporters: Veritas23, Rose, Mads Productions, Michael B, and Christopher D. Thank you all for your patronage and support.
And don't forget, friends, we have a giveaway tonight. If you type !epic, that's EPIC, into the Twitch chat right now, you'll have a chance to win a digital player's handbook from our sponsor for this evening, D&D Beyond.
Pretty good prize.
A digital player's handbook from D&D Beyond. So you could play games something like what we're doing right now with something that cool. Or something much better than what we're doing.
Oh no.
Would there be more blobs or less blobs?
Certainly much less talking of inflamed tissue. And
guys, we got to go to break. We got to.
We'll be back.
We'll be right
back soon.
back.
Take us out.
Great energy. Keep going.
Oh, going strong. Yeah. Welcome back to the show. All right. I don't think we have any announcements for it. Let's get right back into the horribleness I'm throwing at you people.
Just punching meat.
Okay.
Anyway,
Here-
firelight. You said
Yes,
something about
firelight as
Oh, okay.
Brienne's
Cool.
fist
Yeah.
slams through and finds freedom from this tunnel. Get us to battle map number 3, if you'd be so kind.
Precioso. What the fuck is that? Sorry.
Okay, what are you looking at though? Because I want to know. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Put your glasses
Oh.
on, Jess.
Put your glasses on, Jess.
Is that Bahamut?
As your-
Bahamut?
As your eyes adjust to the newly granted light, there's a lot to see in this room. The first that's probably going to catch your eye is the constant glitter of gold catching the light of the flame towards the other side of this area. It's just almost blinding, the amount of gold that's just been piled in this area. Now, more importantly, you see a figure standing between you and this treasure trove. It's a tall, nearly Brigade tall, demonic creature. You see the wide goat horns extending up on its head. Just this turf of filthy looking fur coating its chest. And as it sort of leaps up when you arrive, there's this, clack, clack, as these hoven feet touch the ground. And it just kind of scans you for a bit, sort of looking
Hello?
on the chair that it leapt up from. You notice a very curious looking blade. Even in the light of all of the golden treasure, this stands out as something particularly strange. It's a nasty looking thing with a metal you don't quite recognize. And it's just got a strange arc to the blade.
Is that just a crossbow sitting on that table?
That is a crossbow sitting on that table.
Good eye.
Hello there.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. Guys, I want that big weapon behind it. I also want all of the gold in here. But I
Let's not.
understand that we may need to have a conversation first.
I was about to say, let's not be hasty. Let's see who.
One thing at a time, Brigade.
So, what? I was a treasure hunter. What can I say?
And you said that it looked semi-demonic.
Oh, there's no semi about it. This is
Okay.
if you had to have a textbook of what a demon should look like, this is probably what it would be.
That's definitely Baphomet right there.
Yes, I am looking quite tense.
Okay. So player Jess doesn't remember which is which, but I speak in Infernal. Hi. Hello. Anything?
It sort of tilts its head.
Okay.
And
Switching gears into something a little more throaty.
Yep.
In a bizzle, I say hi. Hello.
Oh, thank God.
It steps closer to your switch of tone,
And it doesn't say anything.
glancing over. It seems to be reading all of you more than anything else right now.
I'd
So
like to read.
gives the doc a once over stare, and then a quick look over the Bronlin, and then just glancing over it all. Then its eye seems to fixate on Kura.
I give it the same once over. If you
Can I do an insight to see if when it fixates on Kura, if that fixation is a hostile one or?
That's what I was going to ask.
Give a
as
roll.
well.
I'm just assuming hostile.
Probably, but also assumptions kill. So
May I roll as well?
Please.
I was doing the same thing.
The kid is very behind me.
At 20.
Nat 20.
that is a 21 in total.
The pair of eagle-eyed adventurers
I read people. That's what I do.
notice that
23, maybe.
notice that this demonic being just seems to be staring at the markings on Kura's arm.
Are you the owner of this boil? The lord of the boil? I'm still trying to engage it in common while they're all examining it.
Its eyes.
Do I notice exactly what it's looking at on me?
You I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say that given the situation, given what that represented on your arm, you feel like that's where its attention is.
Kura, the mark. Cover it.
Why? It already knows I have it.
Regain's shoulders kind of slightly hunched, and he's like starting to breathe harder. Like he looks like he's about. It looks like a tiger that's going to pounce if it feels the moment's right.
Just getting in your go stance.
Stage whisper to Kura. You ever whipped a crimson sash in front of a trap jaw? If you put it away, it isn't as hostile anymore. Same thing.
It's going to be hostile no matter what. I turned my arm over anyway.
All right.
It slowly approaches towards you.
But it's takes
not
a step. As it takes a step forward, I take a step forward as well.
I take a step back.
And I cha-cha real slow.
I step forward also.
It reaches its arms out towards you, Kura. Not in an aggressive out, but in a sort of a reaching for your hand sort of way.
What do you want?
I believe it wants to examine your tattoo.
I'm not going to assume.
That's right.
It's still moving slowly towards you. Again, just sort of extending out these long fingers, trying to reach for your hand or your arm.
I pull my battle axe out.
It suddenly does a "Nyeh." No need for that. No need. We're friends.
Then speak. What do you want?
I'm sorry, I haven't had a good conversation in a long time. You're not like the wretches out there.
Is it you who holds them in thrall?
Yes. Clearly I am the Lord here.
Again, what do you want?
That mark on your arm. Let me see it.
Why?
Because if it says what I think it says, we are friends.
I'm not sure I want to be your friend.
Kind of straightens up for a second, sort of rolling the shoulders. I'm the best friend you could have here. I am the lord of this domain.
What might we know you by? Name?
Baldorgo.
Baldorgo.
Come. Let me see the arm. Let me see what you did.
I keep my axe, but I'll turn my arm over.
In a sudden quick pace, it leans forward and fairly gently cups your arm right around where the markings are. Kind of reading it and looking at your face, and kind of pulls his face close and just sort of sniffs at the marking.
I'm right behind it.
It's real. You killed one, huh?
I showed mercy.
Seems to not be understanding of the concept. No. You did what you should have done. Nasty things. He glances over to Brigade behind him to nod for agreement.
Being
That's all
what
he
you
gets.
are, you will twist it to whatever you want it to be. I know what I did, and my conscience is clear.
I know what you did too. It says on your arm. Kind of a bit of a chuckle to it.
In what language is that written in?
Oh, that is an old one of ours. Dark. It's a mocking. Shows what you did. It's a badge of honor.
In Abyssal? No.
No. He sort of takes a little step away. Mainly to try to pull away from Brigade breathing on the back of his neck.
I have taken a little bit of advantage of his distraction.
Please.
I'm over by the throne, so to speak.
Okay.
And not just investigating that weapon, for lack of a better term, but also all of the items around it. Seeing the eclectic sort of state of all of the things here. The gold doesn't quite concern me as much as like the personal items that are here.
As you get a fair glance into what's strewn about, your first real impression is this might be a very lonely creature. You've seen some books scattered away. More so, you've seen sort of poppets and stuffed animals that seem to have been collected at some point and are, maybe stitched together oddly, but they seem to be in places of, where one would converse and sit with.
Gotcha. Wilson.
Yes.
For my own edification, you are a demon, yes?
I am the Lord here.
Right, but
I
you're
have gone beyond.
Are
What
you significant?
I am the most significant.
Nah. Did you command those blob things to attack us?
Shakes his head. No. Would
How did-
never.
This is more questions than I usually ask. I usually just hit things. How did you become the Lord here?
As he walks back to his tattered throne, as he's telling.
Excuse me. Sorry. Pardon me.
Oh, excuse me.
I follow. Just a little bit. I keep about 10 feet between us at all times, so.
In the realms, I had great power. I was going to be one of the best, one of the greatest lords of the hells. And then I was sent here, clearly to dominate here first, to gain ability and power, which I have. Points at the piles of gold and treasure.
Just for my own
Edification.
thank you. Are you a demon or a devil? I've come to find that they are separate things.
He glances over to, sort of taps his hands almost as he's trying to think about it. Demon.
Oh,
But you're more now. You're something different. The lord of this realm.
Mm.
How did you get that way? Who was the lord of this realm before you?
There was no before me.
So this came into being. It coalesced around you?
Mm-mm.
What is the big creature that we're on?
Right, don't you mean inside of?
Yeah.
Give me an insight check.
Okay. I am rolling. That will be a total of 11.
11. Okay. This creature is for me to control. It goes where I tell it to go.
it sacrifices who you tell it to sacrifice.
If need be.
So, you accept life sacrifices.
I prefer to keep them alive. What good is a lord without subjects?
I kind of look back at Kura in the most can I do it now look possible.
I give a very small shake of my head.
I then look back with a straight face.
So, what is the name of your realm? The previous one we were in was called Starfall, or that was the town. I'm still a little hazy on that. We're new to this mists thing.
Tilts its head as you're speaking. This is the realm of Baltorgo, of course. My realm.
No, I mean no disrespect. I'm just trying to learn.
Beltorgo, how does one exit the realm?
Only through my grace.
How would one get your grace if we so sought to leave Baldorga's Grand Ram?
You can leave. You don't want to leave.
But what if we did?
No. You're different than them. They're weak and boring.
You could
You
leave.
don't. You're not like them. You're different. You're gonna stay here with me.
And this is exactly why we'd like to leave.
Vergain has an instant thought. Shit, I left my shirt upstairs.
Had a good shirt once.
No, it's the legitimate thought process of if we kill this guy, it might be just like the other time, and the fucking body just disappears, and his shirt's upstairs.
Sort of clomps over to the old throne and just sort of sits in a bit of a huff almost.
As Baltorgo says his bit about us not leaving, I take my hands and I just get ready to push the table that I'm behind over to create some shield from us and the goat.
All right.
Vergain then looks around to anyone that can see him, just goes, now? Like, this is the most like, how about now look, but he doesn't say it.
I am not paying attention. I'm actually, if anything, I crossed over to where those books are, and I'm just looking at what the books are themselves.
Okay. Without anyone saying anything to him, he simply
Nope.
goes, so if we're not like the others, how about you just leave with us? We go somewhere else, you find a new domain to rule. That way another place could be Baldorgo's place.
Then you'll have two domains, and maybe the second one would have more interesting folk
And
for
you could
to
and you
mingle
could
with.
and you could be better than those in the abyss or the hells, wherever that is to say the hell you are from hell.
Give me a persuasion.
Oh, good God. Oh boy. That's a liar.
Would it be
Well,
with
I mean, it's-
advantage since
Oh.
I was trying to help?
To say if you are completely lying, then
Oh, I'm lying.
okay, then
I full blown want to just kill this guy. I don't give a
all right.
glad, because if it's deception,
Then deception.
I get advantage on, because that first one was a Uno.
Ooh.
The second one is better. 18 with my +0 modifier. 18.
All right. You see him stroking his long beard as you're talking. More places.
From what I hear, there are many more places. We came for one. You could take something from another, rule there, and then you would have more people to worship Baldorgo.
Yes. This makes some sense. Yes. Stands straight.
Brigade looks at Salem and gives the.
Yeah. Rest his hand on the hilt of this long blade.
Baldogo. Question. This mighty being that you command to go wherever it is you wish, can you command it to go to another realm?
Yeah. Looks at you for a moment and shakes his head. It's too big. Too big for other realms.
Heard that
big.
before.
Well, forgive me for assuming. And yourself,
Hmm?
could you travel to other realms at your will, being so powerful as you are?
Of course I could. But you're gonna take me.
Why would you leave your fate to such lowly folk as us, when such a powerful being as yourself can do so at will?
Kind of seems to think about the question for a moment or two. Because you're subjects. You do what I say.
Subjects? Interesting stance you have there.
You're subjects, and you're gonna take me with you. Not that I need you.
Seems rather beneath someone so significant.
Baldogo, if I may, you seem to have been here by yourself for quite a while. Those poor wretches up above don't really seem to offer too much in the way of stimulating conversation. Might I entreat you to a game? And if so, a small wager.
Go on.
Well, I so happen to have a deck of cards. I can show you one of my favorite games. It's fairly simple. The stakes of the 3 rounds of hands that we play. We will show you towards other planes if you so wish, if you win. If we win, you show us how to leave and come as freely as you might.
Give me a persuasion.
I cast guidance on Salem.
I shake my head and under my breath I whisper, well, that was the time we should have done it now.
And guidance does
The little one's still
Extra
next to you.
D4.
Nods.
an extra D4. Okay.
I give her a good hand squeeze. I think to myself, she's learning. Oh, she's quick. I like this one. Let's keep
Brigade
her.
has started just looking up at the clouds, trying not to look at this thing that he definitely wants to just murder now, and is spinning his glaive in his fingers. Just, I want to, but everyone's like, no.
That is a 13 plus 1 plus 3, making a total of 17 persuasion.
17?
Mhm.
Strokes his chin. Okay. Kind of clutches the blade as it sort of drags it along with him over towards you.
Perfect. I sit down and cross my legs. I entreat him to do the same.
Oh, he
And-
said okay. I thought he said no game.
Whew.
I'm glad I realized that it was about to be
You were
Glaive-
about to swing.
It was about to be Glaive City up in this piece.
Okay. So in this, it's I'll just say regular dragon cards. I'm using my marked deck, and in terms of how, I mean, I'm gonna work with you on how we're gonna play it.
Sure.
But I would like to use some combination of my insight and my sleight of hand for my turns in playing this.
How you intend on blending the two on that?
Sleight of hand being where I'm watching the cards that are being picked, and just kind of like with certain variations of poker, where you can toss cards to the pot, pick up other cards. I'm trying to build a hand to beat his, and then my insight is reading him. What kind of hand am I able to pull from his expressions?
All right.
Brigade moves back far enough that he knows he could just jump there, but far enough back that he can't say, "Oh, you're looking at my cards."
Just right over his shoulder. Just thumbs up if you think I can beat it. Okay. Do you want me to roll first? Do you want?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, sure. So I'm going to use again first sleight of hand for picking the marked cards, and then insight afterwards. So sleight of hand is 11 plus 6, so that's a 17.
I mean, these is contested rolls.
I'm again, we're making this up as we go.
We
so
are
yeah,
making this
absolutely, absolutely.
He doesn't give any reaction.
Perfect. And then insight to see what I think he's building.
All right.
And that's a 19.
19. He as it clutches these cards in this giant hand, it doesn't quite seem to give a whole lot of a tell on its face. That might be because it's not understanding the game, or it might just be incredibly good at its job.
Fair enough. And I guess at this point, depending on whatever bonus you decide to give either of us, it would be a roll-off.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Without any bonuses, I'm just rolling a d20.
Just roll a d20.
Sure. I have a 13.
I mean, it's how you didn't need a bonus on there because he got a 12.
All right.
All right.
So that is round 1 down. Next round.
Second verse, same as the first.
Absolutely. Shuffle the deck, replay the cards, and we do our round of picking the pot. Ho. Damn it, not a 20, but a 19 plus 6 makes it a 25 for my sleight of hand.
Okay.
And then whoop. Insight is 10 plus 7, making it 17.
All right. Again, the expression seems sort of not quite blank, but it's kind of glancing at the card, just kind of looking around it.
Over here, I'm not looking at anything.
Now, my friend, how long has it been since you've played cards?
Not long.
Not long, you say? May I ask who the last person you played was?
The kings outside. The wretches.
Oh. How did they fare?
I won.
You won. Okay. Of course you did. Of course you did.
Hearing that outburst, I'm readying create bonfire, the cantrip, just in case. just in case this goes south.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. You're a tiefling. You would know. Fire ain't gonna work on a demon.
Did I say fire? I meant frost.
Well, we did establish that it is a demon, not a devil.
True.
Devils are the ones
shit.
that are.
Yep. It might work. It doesn't seem to know what the hell it is.
I'm watching. I'm standing over by this cauldron of fire over here, and I'm taking bits of rotten food, and I'm throwing them into a larger vial that I have filled with a bunch of other fluids.
Where did you find rotten food?
I asked for a fair bit of things from the innkeeper in
Who
Starfall.
brought this guy?
And I'm just throwing bits of rotten food into this, and I'm corking it, swirling it around, and kind of holding it over the flames, heating it up, and swirling it around, and just watching the game.
What did they? As I'm about to lay down my cards, what did they wager?
Just the treasures. They're crowns. I like them.
I have a question for you. What do you eat down here? How do you get food?
He glances over to the blade for a second, then back to his hand. After the game.
Inside check.
All right.
The game. We're the only thing in the room. What the fuck is after the game?
For my hand,
far.
I rolled a 19.
That was a 15 inside check.
All right. First things first. Go ahead and add a. Since you got a 25 on there, let's do a D8 bonus on that.
Sure.
As you nailed that.
That sleight of hand, yeah.
Yeah.
Where? God, I have so many die. I think D8. So that is a 4 plus, so 23 total for the hand.
Yeah. You take this hand again.
Cool. All right.
He kind of tosses the cards down, looks over to Regain, and hoists himself up on this blade. I'll show you. Kind of drags it over to one of the walls of this area and just kind of hooks it in. And you just hear this sizzle come from this blade as it just sort of cuts like butter into this wall. Then he does another swing, making a wedge. And see it there and just kind of pulls out a piece of Titan and walks over and sets it down before you.
I was not asking for food whatsoever. I just wanted to know how you were eating down here.
Eat.
No, I'm okay.
I am a kind lord. He sits back down.
You
for the
humble
game.
me with the meat you present me. Can I make another deception check? That's obviously a fucking lie.
Go for it.
Try as I might, I cannot hide the disgust on my face right now.
That'd be a 15 deception.
As far as you know, he took it as a complete truth. He doesn't react strongly to. He's kind of focused back towards the game.
I feel like everyone else, just because of who Brigade is, you all kind of notice that he's fishing for a reason to do something physical right now. Otherwise, he would not be concerned with any of this.
I reach up and I put a hand on Brigane's arm.
We're going to have to kill this guy, right? Like, come on. Like,
Maybe. Be patient.
it's right there. It's right there.
Shh.
All right. If he sits back down, hopefully our last hand.
All right.
Oh, not so great. That's going to be a 14 in total for the sleight of hand.
You don't see him respond.
Damn right. You don't see anything I'm doing. I'm that good. And then my own insight. Is 14 plus 7, so 21.
All right. It is, as before, really kind of impossible to get a read on that face.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna roll that off.
All right.
Yeah. God damn it. I'm pretty sure you're gonna beat a 4.
Nat 20.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
Sets the cards down. There. Did I win?
you had a hand. Not the whole game. You played very, very well.
Hmm. Come, one more.
Very well.
Things to do. We have places to go.
Aren't you enjoying the company, sir?
I was.
You were. Well, what changed?
We're going places. There are things to see.
Oh, a fine, great demon like yourself. You have all the time in the world. Let us entertain you, and then we may travel.
Have you ever heard of other realms besides your own?
Crosses his arms, looking over the cards. Of course I have.
Would our Lord deem us worthy enough to hear of the other places that you have heard of?
Staring over at you for a second.
Just a shirtless meat castle over here.
You probably wouldn't recognize the names. You've never been to them.
Are you sure? We are not from this one. We traveled here. Perhaps we've come across it or them.
I'm sure.
Can I insight as to see whether or not
Of
he's
course.
fucking bullshitting all of this?
This guy's an asshole.
I was like, yes, I've been to all of them.
But everywhere, man.
That is going to be an 18.
You're starting to get some serious doubts.
Gee, yeah.
Daryl, the player, fully believes that this dude got sent here as a joke and just so happened to kind of be in charge because maybe he was the most powerful thing here.
I am slightly tipping over, like really, really carefully tipping over the table. And I, Infernal tell Casimir to stay put. And I walk up to Kura and to Bergain, and I just, right, is now the time? I don't think this is gonna go the way that Salem thinks it's gonna go, mates.
Let it play out.
I honestly think his weapon, I think it might slice through the chance.
So, as they're playing this out, the doctor has had enough. He just brings the vial over from where he was warming it, points it at the demon. Seeing his friends conversing, he makes sure to get the angle so that it's not going to hit Salem, and then he uncorks it. And I cast this.
Was it me?
Caustic Brew as a 5-foot, 30-foot stream shoots from this vial and splashes all over that demon. I'm gonna need him to roll a dex save.
All right.
Would
Guys,
that be at disadvantage since I'm engaging him in conversation?
That'll leave up to the DM.
I was gonna say it's just putting it out there.
He's sitting.
He is sitting, and you are at range, so this will be considered a range attack.
No, it's not a range attack. It's a saving throw.
Save there. All right. I will.
He is fully caught in that blast, so it just comes out, just shoots out of this smaller vial. And I'm like,
I imagine that I'm holding the cards forward as I'm about to pick up a couple, and they just get atomized out of my hand. Oh,
acid.
man.
It's a dirty 20.
Ooh. All right. Does he take half?
He better.
Hang on. Must succeed or be covered or until the creature.
Or Salem goes, I'm not with them. Bye.
Yeah, one way out, the way is shut. The dead.
No, it doesn't say. It doesn't say it fails. So I imagine it's just he succeeds.
No damage. Yikes.
The Lord looked cold, looked too warm, and we seek to cool him off.
Well, that was awkward. Oh, I'm sorry. My concoction went off. Oh Lord! And I cork it and try and look around. Where the hell did that come from?
You fool! How dare you present this to the Lord?
Roll initiative, everyone.
Worth a shot. Worth a shot.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. I was so close.
15.
16 for Salem.
It's the time that Ula gets here. 11.
2.
11 for the doctor.
And you go before me.
Yep.
That's twice now. Exact same.
We're on the same wavelength as far as speed goes.
We both wanted to kill this guy.
All right. In that same vein, dirty 20. So he is starting the show here.
Oh, shh.
I just kept my hands up "Ooh."
He sees that stream of chemical just graze between him and Salem. So he does a kind of a lurch despite that giant form. Shifts and looks back and suddenly just charges towards the dock.
Oh God, this is not gonna go well.
And
Hi. Oh, God.
brings a heavy claw just almost slapping you down. It's not so much a gouge so much as it is just a dominant slap down.
Mhm, mhm.
That'd be an 11.
No, misses.
All right. You see it sort of snorting in anger in your direction. See a bit of mucus kind of flying from the nostril as it's looming over you.
It seems we have a bit of a problem. He's looking around, panic. I'm looking around. Like,
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boy.
All right, and I believe Salem, you were the first to go.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
So I am moving a little back and over next to Hura. And as I'm running this way, I am going to again do my inquisitive roguelike investigation of it, see its movements, see its fighting pattern, all of that. And I believe that's a 17 plus, so a 24 in insight.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So as I'm running, I'm gonna go ahead and do one of those dagger tosses at him.
Go for it.
18. 18 is my total.
That'll hit.
Hit.
That will
Okay.
find perch.
Cool. Well, I can't use my hunter's mark again today, but I still have all of that cool, nice rogue sneak attack damage. So that will be 8, 12 piercing damage, and I will continue my movement to be behind Regain, Kura, and Bronwyn.
All right. As you see it raising its arm to strike down the doctor, you throw that dagger just perfectly into its shoulder, just catching just right in the back of its blade. It kind of doing a bit of a stumble away and bringing its arm down, unable to connect. But you definitely see that blade just sink into the meat of that shoulder.
Good. Perfect.
And that's it for your turn?
Yeah, that's everything there, because it takes my bonus action to do the investigation. My action
Right.
was the fight, and my almost full movement was to move behind.
It's always hard to tell with rogue.
No, I have one more thing up my sleeve.
Bronwyn, I believe, is your turn.
Walking over in front of the table, I'm clutching my my necklace and casting Moonbeam. So again, this is a wait and see, but I'm just kind of creating a barrier in between me and Casimir.
All right.
That's
So
it for me.
where exactly are you dropping? Are you just dropping it straight on?
So I'm dropping it more to its right side, closer to the rugs, so
Gotcha.
as to not hit the doctor.
you could put a shape. You could use the shapes there at the top.
What?
There's shapes. What is it? A circle or a cube?
I don't see any shapes.
The menu bar at the top of the document, where
I don't-
you pick the zoom.
What does it
and
say that?
your-
I'll put it on there for you. What does it say that Moonbeam
Like
is?
that.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
excellent. Thanks. Y'all, it's so small, I can't see anything.
Put your glasses on, Jess.
It wouldn't help. Okay, thanks. Teamwork makes the dream work, baby. And that's my turn.
All right. Bring us to the good doctor.
Okay, I'm going to slip that vial away, and I'm going to strike my two hands together. And when I've got gloves on, you've noticed. And when I strike my two hands together and I pull them apart, there's electric beams between the two hands, and I just reach out and try and plant my hands on them. Let's see. Oh, nat 20 plus 5.
Yes.
So, shocking. As I'm
All right.
casting Shocking Grasp, by the by.
Yes, go for it.
So that's 3 plus 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. Total of 10.
Yeah, as it's looming over you, you just plant those hands just into it. You just feel its body lurching and jerking forward as these arcs of lightning are just kind of racing through its body. All right, I believe regain.
That's it. I'm not gonna move away because
Yeah.
I look at Kura and I'm just like, okay, now?
Yes.
Okay. And I just leap over, growing in size once again as I go, like mid jump, just grow again. And I use my second use of this, but this seems like a good time because he's the Lord of the Realm, apparently. And I bring down my glaive.
Go for it.
It's what I do best. Oh boy, that's a 9. 9 for a total of 15 to hit.
You hit.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, look at me. I'm stuck in the accent now. Okay. It happens.
That's how we know. That's how we know we reached the right hour.
So that's an 8 on the glaive plus a d6. Ooh. It's a good little bit of damage right there. That's 17 points of damage.
Yeah. As your great form just lands, it attempts to hoist that ugly blade up and swing at you, but you just sort of push up its arm with your glaive and then just draw your blade across its chest. So you just do a nice slash into it as it staggers a bit.
Come now. You're a lord. Act accordingly. As I'm just towering above it, breathing heavily.
All right. Kura, I believe.
All right. I don't trust that we're all going to stay clear of that blade that it's holding, so I'm going to move into sort of the midst of the group and grab hold of my amulet and under my breath I say Ruker Vende Ukur, and there's this sphere of dim light that pulses out from me and envelops everyone. And you all get, let's see. We're getting 4 temporary hit points. Everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
A little bit, but that includes Casimir. She's close enough. And that's going to be my action.
All
My
right.
turn.
just a point of interest, my Shocking Grasp also makes him so he doesn't get reactions.
Thank you for reminding me. All right, top of the round.
Alrighty. So
My top of the round.
He goes first.
yeah,
If you want to
I
start
really hope.
with,
Sorry, please.
If I want to start with the damage that you're landing,
yeah.
is that what
If
you
you
were
want
gonna?
to, if you want to start with failing a Constitution save of 12, I'd be okay with that. I'm not gonna say no.
This polite asking for, yeah, that failed. It's very
Hey.
odd to me.
Okay, perfect. So that is 10 radiant damage.
Poor.
All right.
We're in a pour.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. As one of the many DMs playing in this game, all I'm thinking of is the logistics of this boss battle and all the things that go into a D&D boss battle. Such as legendary actions and lair actions.
Mhm.
What don't we know, baby?
That's legendary actions.
Um,
As it's there in this beam of light, you just see the sizzle of its flesh. Again, it's sort of peeling up and away, similar to what you saw with the slime earlier.
Daryl, are you really standing there?
He really is.
Mhm. Sure is.
I grew up to my size. Do I take the 10 damage as well?
You will take
Yeah,
different
Constitution.
damage on your turn. The start of
Okay.
your turn, you will take some
Is
amount
it-
of damage.
Is it a half is different than full? I'm assuming. It's not a I save and I don't take damage, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
Cool.
I've got ways to heal myself. It's fine.
As it burns in the light, it sizzles and just kind of blindly shunting away and grabs the blade and just tries to bring it into Brigade. Just kind of over its shoulder, just letting the heft of it take the charge.
You should hit Brigade. It's okay. Sorry, Brigade.
That's a dirty 20.
No, yeah, that is.
Not for too much. So 5 slashing and 4 acid damage.
So here's what I'm going to do.
Tell me what you're gonna do.
I'm going to use my reaction to activate my cloud rune. So what everyone sees is when he slashes towards me, one of the runes of my arm lights up, and a cloud appears where the blade should take purchase. And because we're inside of a creature, essentially 30 feet off, you see another cloud appear, and the damage takes hold in just a random portion of this creature land. And I take no damage, but everything that you just did happens just to the Titan that we're inside of.
All right. As you say, this
I just
swing
had-
is just suddenly a miss, and a wall across it just suddenly splits and sizzles.
I just reread that and realized that it said when you or a creature you see. And I was just like, oh, I thought it was just for anyone else. But yes.
All right. He is going to step away from the bathe of light. So he's going to kind of curl around there. And that will end that turn. Salem, do your thing.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, that's still plenty of room. So I am going to move over right next to Bronlin. Get this nice little avenue of a sight line. And I have another dagger at the ready as I'm sprinting over there. And I am going to try to aim this to be on, it in its chest if I can.
All right.
So 15.
15 will hit.
Yeah. That is 12 damage.
All right. That sinks pretty true. It's hard to tell with the matted fur in the chest, but you think you got a pretty good strike straight in. because it does a bit of a lurch and sort of, balances itself, holding onto the blade, onto its foot, kind of stabilizes itself and kind of sways a little bit, but readies.
And seeing what the doctor did, I look over at him and yell, "Doc, lightning rod!" And I point at the two daggers that are now standing on opposite sides of its chest.
I would have to touch him. I don't want to get too close to him. Perhaps another time when I have something of a distance. Nervously, like.
Don't get me involved.
Yeah.
You only started this.
Yeah.
My potion went off.
It made me ink.
Bronwyn, I believe you're up.
I am going to move my moonbeam on directly over Beltorgo, and I'm going to move backwards to be closer to the child. And if someone could do that for me,
Child.
this is just not wanting to work for
To
me.
move
gotcha.
you to move you to the child.
Back to
Yep.
the table.
Is it
Child.
just to the table?
Yes,
Okay.
behind the table.
Oh, okay.
A plus.
There.
Good teamwork. Thanks so much.
How big of a radius is that moonbeam?
It's 5 foot.
5 foot.
Oh, so it would be like that.
Just right over top of his face.
Precisely.
10 feet across.
It's 30 feet up. So if anyone's trying to do some aerial attacks,
It,
don't get frozen in the air.
That's solid advice for day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Just don't get frozen in the air.
And I grab Casimir's hand, and that's my turn.
Fantastic. All right, Doc.
All right. So, yeah, I'm not too keen on running up there and touching him again. Sorry. But I am going to pull that stick back out, pull a different vial out. It's greenish, pop the cork, pour it on the end of the stick, swirl it around, and then, and as I send out a sickening green beam of energy shoots from the stick and will hopefully hit him. He will hit him. Maybe hits him. 16?
16 would hit.
All right. 2d8, and he's got to make a Constitution saving throw. For a total of 7 damage.
19 on the save.
Okay. Then he won't be poisoned.
All right.
As I cast Sickening Ray of Sickness.
Sure enough, you hit it with this beam, and it is lurched over. Like you can see that sort of like dry heaving,
Yes.
and it's probably the first time you see its maw open completely and how wide its mouth actually is.
No.
As
no.
it's sort of gripped onto this blade, just kind of doubled over, doing those big deep breaths where I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Not gonna lose it.
All right.
I have to make a retroactive con save.
Did you start your turn?
Well, no, you would have moved it by then. You moved
Yep.
it.
They moved.
So,
They moved it.
okay.
Yeah.
So you're Gucci.
But I attack up. Actually, no, I don't have to attack up close. I take out one of my hand axes and just whip it at it. Having now noticed what's happening and that the sizzle comes from the grand light above,
All right.
That misses. That's a total of 8. I'm going to action surge and throw another.
Another one.
And I'm going to use D&D Beyond. Come on now. Be
D&D Beyond.
That's a
Get
14
to
to
hit.
hit. That was a 14 to hit.
Exclamation
A 14.
point epic.
Yes.
Wait,
A
what?
14. A 14 will hit.
Oh,
It slaps away the first axe, but as it's still doing those big inhales, that second one catches it off guard and just sort of clips into the side of its face. You got a nice just slice off.
total of 5.
Yep.
And
It's cosmetic. He ain't so pretty anymore, is really.
I could do more, but I'm not going to. I do move a little bit closer though.
All right.
Not close enough that I'm in the moonbeam.
There, I got the moonbeam looking moonbeamy.
Nice. We'll prep up something for the moonbeam since I think Jess found their go-to slap down.
Moonbeams.
The hippie strike.
Just wait until they
Right.
wait until they level up and realize how OP a druid is.
It's true.
I can't die. I just turn into another creature.
Kura, I believe it is your turn.
Yes.
Another moonbeam.
Actually,
I've got a fever.
Double
Oh,
moonbeam.
moonbeams.
Double moonbeam all the way.
yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trace another rune in the air and pull my hands apart on it, and another shaft of moonlight comes down on top of Goatman there.
Just a spotlight on Broadway.
Yep.
All right. crossing streams here.
Don't
Yes.
cross the moonbeams.
I do want to point out that it's actually 10 feet wide because
Oh,
it's a
10
5-foot
wide?
radius.
Ah.
Well, I can read.
You can't
That's-
math.
That's
though.
a my B.
They're
That's a my B.
They're two very different things.
And I'm making sure it's not hidden Brigade.
Thank you. You're my favorite, Kura.
And
Some
Right.
people.
see, that is my turn because I know immediately following this it's going to have to save twice.
Oh my god. All right. What is the save?
So it's a con save. For me, it's a 12. It might be the same for Bronlin, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd like to request individual saves if you succeed, but I'd like to request one save if you fail.
But just to reiterate, it does take half damage if it saves, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it still takes damage.
Yes.
Some damage is always better than no damage.
We failed on Kura's, but we succeeded on Rollins.
Boo.
You're still smacking him for half. All right, roll your damage.
As opposed to my acid blast, which is like nothing.
7 radiant.
3 radiant.
7-3. All right. He's definitely looking worse for wear at this point. This barrage of a moonbeam and this radiant light, something that he probably hasn't seen in some time, is just decimating him. You see the flesh peeling away with the brightness, and him just almost as if the light is weighing it down.
That's the point.
And it gives it tries to steady itself and just gives one attempt at this wide swing towards Brigade.
So it's me.
You're always the one standing
Right
there.
But yes,
Not gonna lie, good. Sorry.
That would be a 21.
that hits.
The hit, yeah.
But my turn is since passed, correct? So I do get another reaction. I'll let you roll your damage.
How
thank you.
kind.
He'll
Wow,
allow it.
Thanks.
Well, I have to know because I still have to roll to determine how much I negate it by.
Be a 7 slash and 3 acid.
Reaction Stone's Endurance. That is a D12. What's my D12?
You're just flexing the damage.
Yeah, that's really all it is.
As a reaction, reduce
That
damage
peck popper.
dealt to you. Yeah, basically reduce damage dealt to you by a D12 plus 3. It's not a lot. I rolled a 1, so that's 4. I negated by 4 damage.
I was kind of hoping that it was going to be over and you were going to deflect it back to the goat.
I
That'd
made
be
a
pretty cool.
freaking cloud appear and turned it against its titan. What more do you want from me? What was the total again, DM?
It was 10 originally.
So it's 6. So I only actually take 2 damage because Kura so graciously gave us
Temporary.
temporary.
The fatigue of this creature has definitely come very clear that it did this last strike at you. It barely just grazes into the meat of your arm, but it's just a light.
I don't react. I look at it with the most, oh, buddy. I even say, you're going to get the same reaction I would give to most that I'm going to kill. I'm going to kill you terribly. And I'd like to say that everyone smells ozone in the air, like it's about to rain in the room when he says that.
Oh, petrichor. Mm.
Better than what we've been smelling.
Just for a moment, just for the briefest moment.
I'm gonna say there's definitely a look of fear in its eyes.
He sees a little bit of lightning crackle in the corner of Brigane's eye.
All right. Salem.
So I almost hate to ask. That crossbow on the table, is it loaded?
It is.
Who leaves a loaded weapon? Never mind.
The better question is, was it a hand crossbow,
horse.
a light crossbow, or a heavy crossbow?
That would be a heavy crossbow.
Either way, I run over to the table, pick it up, and take aim to fire.
Go for it.
Good thing I got advantage on this. Jesus. So that is going to be a 15, which I think we established hits already.
That it does.
And heavy crossbow's a D8.
Correct.
Heavy is a D10.
The D10?
Yes, heavy is a D10.
That's
Oh,
right.
okay. Well, I have one of those too.
It's been a while since I picked up a heavy crossbow. Not gonna lie.
Hey, your boy's proficient in all weapons.
So that is 14 damage.
How do you want to do it?
Oh, I just threatened these guys.
I know. I
Kill
know.
steal.
So saw
When we say
that
we
it's-
double team it, I catch it and drive it in harder.
Okay. We'll do this. I aim for the nape of its neck, right, at the bottom, right below where its drake is, and I let it sail right to there. And I'm giving Brigade so many different options in terms of, look, you got a whole bunch of handholds that you could just use to cleave this thing apart now, or you could just shove it, the shaft of the arrow further in. Just sort of gesturing, you have a buffet of options.
I'd like to say that out of the corner of my eye, because I don't want to take your moment away, out of the corner of my eye, just to tag team this, I see you pick it up. I reach forward, grab its head, and jut it forward so that it just shoots into its neck. Like I bring it towards me and it's like, I never said I would kill you terribly alone. And then I let it go. And I grab its weapon before it falls.
The demon, after just sort of, again, just collapses onto its knees and then just onto its face, just a thud. Stops moving.
I spin the new weapon. I say, just in case. And I chop its head off on the ground.
As you wield this odd blade again, just a scythe cutting the wheat as it just slides right through.
Okay.
Just severs the head.
It's mostly just to make me feel safe. I don't know about you. Sometimes they get back up. Sometimes they come back.
That is fair.
So, well, I want to give people a moment to do whatever it is they want to do, but I am approaching the severed head.
I dismissed the moonbeam.
Oh, I got rid of him.
Yeah, I'm saying in character. That's what I do.
Oh, okay.
The vibrant light of the room seems to fade, and you're back to the light of fire.
So what I'm doing at this point is I'm untying the dagger from the rope, and I am netting it so that way I can carry the head in a sort of netted satchel over my shoulder.
I'm gonna move over and uncork a vial and catch a bunch of demon ichor inside the vial without touching it.
Having flashbacks to The Witcher here.
Vergain looks at
Rock
Sandom
up
and
the
says,
head, take the blood.
Vergain looks at Sandom and says, loot everything that you can.
Earlier, you said, Bran, that there were books scattered throughout.
There are.
The loot that I'm taking are the books, and I would love to hear their titles,
Okay.
either now or at a later time.
All right. We'll do that for a
Vergain
later time. We'll
It's like
collect them.
Vergain puts his glaive back and it's just like looking at this new weapon that he's won, and also scoops a few precious looking rubies from the piles of gold and puts them in his gigantic pockets.
It's not too difficult to find a couple of nice sized gems.
Hey, you never know. We're going between planes here.
I'm
Keep
going. Go ahead.
No.
I'm going to go investigate as well, and also look at the books with Bronlin. But as I'm moving, I cast this look over toward the doctor. It's a glare. There's really no other way to describe it. If he notices or not, whatever.
He does not. I do not. I'm like, okay, put slide that away.
After I finish picking up books, I ask out, right, does anyone need healing? Are we all good?
No, I'm good. I just need a little rest. I'll be fine. So, do we find anything cool besides what I got? Look at this fucking this thing is cool.
It does suit you. I stand up and as I look around, I kind of see that pile of clothes.
There is a pile of clothes there.
I'm gonna go find myself some not cheaper. I think my pants are ripped and the crotch is all ripped out. All right. Let's find something better to wear.
After a little bit of searching, actually, give me a roll.
All right.
We're gonna see how awesome a pants you find.
Roll for. I wish this was the first time I heard roll for pants.
Roll for pants.
It's not. It's not.
Are we doing investigation?
Yeah,
All right, so that'll be a dirty 20, actually.
dirty 20. You find an impressive set. You have no doubt this was taken off or given it from when one of those wretches, were still just arrived in their full royal, regalia, and that was stripped away. This is beautifully threaded. You have to presume it is some sort of silk, but it seems a lot more sturdy, but it has that softness to it. It is a credit to the art of tailoring.
Excellent.
Seeing the doc have an amazing find out of there, I yell out, right? Oi, is there more?
There's a pile over here. There's.
Brigade,
Come look.
remembering what happened the last time we did something to what we found out to be a lord, or at least the last time we did something to someone of significance in the land, in the world, likes to listen to see because I'm thinking the exact same. It's so scatterbrained because it's the exact same way Brigade would think of it. Was just like, well, he said the thing was created for him, so he controlled the creature, but he's gone now. So does the creature disappear now? So Brigade is going to listen to see if this creature is disintegrating.
Are you putting your ear to the ground?
A combination of that, just feeling for vibrations, like, does it seem like chaos is among us? Because if this is where the Lord lived, this would be the epicenter for where things will start to fall apart. At least that's how it works in Brigade's head.
We're assuming he was the Lord and wasn't just BSing us.
Perception check.
You think Brigade, with his intelligence of 9, has not thought of all these things? Ooh, Shiza. Nat 20 for a perception. 23 total.
You get down low. You sense the vibrations that you've gotten used to. You put an ear that, at this point you could probably hear that village outside the body. You're so in tune with every little sound that's going on. And absolutely nothing seems to have changed after killing this thing.
Okay, good news. Nothing weird is happening after we killed this guy. So continue to do whatever you are doing. I'm going to pick up this diamond here, a few golds here. Hey, is the kid still in the room?
Right here.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
She's currently eyeballing the strange poppets near the throne.
Oh, yes, there are poppets there.
Make sure they're not magical. I hear sometimes dolls come to life. That could have just been a story my father told me.
I'm looking for gems for spell components, and I'm also looking for anything that looks rather out of the ordinary.
Give me an investigation.
I'm going to cast guidance on myself.
Respect, brother.
Doesn't help much. It's not even worth rolling for, really. Yeah, it's a 4.
You're having issues getting a good lock on anything that isn't gold pieces.
Out of
DM?
frustration, I'll just grab a handful of those.
Okay, screw it. I might as well. I usually leave actual searching for treasure to other people, but I get people to the treasure. I don't discern what is treasure, but I'm going to. I found a weapon, but I'm going to do an investigation check if you'll allow me to search.
Do it. Salem?
I was just gonna say that that odd bubble all the way to the right of the map. That's probably the next thing I'd be looking at, but I'm not quite over there yet.
I rolled a nat 6 for a total of 5.
Again, at this point, you seem to be just, you think you see something interesting, and when you kind of reach for it, the pile sort of spills over, and you're again just looking at more gold pieces.
It's fine. I have this new weapon. I have the first thing that I saw when I walked in, and I was just like, I want that.
So I guess.
Salem, as you check that out, or
Yeah.
are you moving your way over there?
Yeah, I'm just usually move the token. I mean,
That's fine.
zoom out. Zoom out. Over there. Yes. The token thing. The bauble. What is this?
The bauble. As you look at it, it looks like it was not well handled. It looked like it was just kind of discarded.
Mm-hmm.
But it appears to be a small orb that seems to be almost like a compass, but it seems to be like on several axes.
Yes. How big is this thing?
You could hold it in your hand. It's got some heft, but you could hold it in one hand.
Oh, okay, perfect. Interesting. I will toss that into my pack for studying later. Honestly, I'm just like the last of what I'm doing is I'm gonna pocket some gold, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like 25 pieces, and that'll be it. At that point, if there's nothing else that pops out, I'm gonna be headed towards the exit.
Would anyone like a ride back up to Chance? I can carry at least a few people.
Does anybody want to do?
Do we have everything that we
One last cursory glance.
need? I can.
I guess. Well, okay. If it's being vocalized.
One last look before
I don't
we
want to.
leave.
I just don't want you to feel that I rushed you out.
One last look.
You
in this
fought the
room.
demon. I don't want to go. Okay, everyone leave.
Okay, all right.
In a room full of
Well,
treasure.
right, mates.
ahead.
What is next? I know I need a rest. I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
we found. This is just my guess.
There are some lovely rugs in here.
Are any of them magical?
Could they
I
say fly us out?
I will make an Arcana check. I have a -1 at the moment, but I will make an Arcana check to just kind of nudge one to be like, does this fly?
Do something.
You want to try?
Did you want me to do, what was it, investigation or last looks?
I could also help with that. I have a pretty good investigative eye.
I would much rather just give advantage to someone else.
I have a 16 in total for my investigation check.
I'm actually instead of using investigation, can I use my knowledge of the arcane to suss out any other items of interest?
Yes.
Ooh, 19 plus 5, 24.
24. As you are doing gentle hands over everything, getting a good read of everything, you pick up the loot that was sitting upon the chest, originally just to try to move it out of the way, but you hear a little clunk sound inside.
I give it a little shake.
Yeah, give me a dexterity for that, because trying to get a pick out of a guitar is impossible.
All right.
As an evil DM, my first thought is this is a deck of many things.
17 plus my just straight dex would be 3, 18, 19, 20. 20.
Yeah. You give that right little hop that, and what slides out is a small figurine, not unlike the one the poisoner had given you. It seems to be carved out of the same material. It appears to be 2 trees intertwined and an axe sort of between them.
I take the loot and I'll actually sling it on my back, keeping it just for funsies, and I'll hold up the figurine. I do believe I found our ticket out of here.
We left our packs upstairs. At least 3 of us did.
Perhaps we should, before we go,
Yes.
take the night in here. Maybe send a couple of us back up to get our packs and things, and then rest down here, because I could use a moment. I nearly saw my life flash before my eyes when that thing rushed me. So
Only because you acted rashly, Doctor.
I don't tend to agree with the doctor very often, but I do think that we could use a rest.
Absolutely. Must it be down here? It stinks.
does, but it's not much more pleasant up there either, and this is a more secure area.
For what it's worth, in this sealed area, the smell is significantly less pungent.
And I was just going to say, I wouldn't want to spend the evening with those wretches all around us trying to touch us with their powdery hands and things.
I walk over to the pile of clothes. I first look for matching red tops for me and the kid, and then I just dive in, and I am zonked. I am so tired.
All right. We'll see later if you found your match attire. I think we should wrap up for now.
Yeah.
We come this to a close.
Naturally, I find nothing that fits me. So, if we're sleeping here, Brigade returns to its normal size.
Have a. I guess find some comfort that there were no children's clothes in this pile.
I don't know.
And I would say in the meantime, while we're preparing our rest, a couple of us go up and retrieve our belongings and come back. Those good at climbing.
You make it sound so easy.
Yeah, it's
all right. We're gonna stop here for the evening.
Yes.
We got some announcements and some important things to say, but as far as the story, that's where we come to a close for now.
Indeed, that was interesting fights.
Got 2 fights, baby. Two fights.
Yeah.
Brigade was in his element. All right. So don't forget to subscribe to the Games Tavern YouTube channel right now. Subscribing is free, and you don't miss any of the action and access to additional content. If you type !YouTube in the chat, you'll get our link. Also, or you just go to YouTube and search for the Games Tavern. You'll find us there too. Your likes and positive comments on the videos help other adventurers and other adventurers finding our shows.
Alrighty. And in terms of the winner for the Digital Player's Handbook from D&D Beyond, drum roll. Oh, great chat gods. Who do we have
We
today?
have the envelope over there.
There we go.
Alrighty. Mad Tsunami. Awesome name. You've won a D&D Beyond digital copy of the Player's Handbook. It is an awesome resource. There's so much more to this, but that is a fantastic start to getting your home game going, especially when used through D&D Beyond, which is what we use tonight. Congratulations. Our tech folk will reach out to you to get the information and send you that handbook.
And don't forget to join our friends over at Dirty Deeds Mondays at 7 Eastern as they explore the world of Eberron. The Fallen Star Company has managed to remove the anti-magic devices scattered around New Syri. I know I butchered that. And now face off against the cult of Mordain to put an end to the bloodshed.
All right, everyone, go and visit dndbeyond.com. Check out all their amazing tools, such as the character sheets and encounter builders, and all the digital resources, too.
All right, and now it's time for you to learn more about us. My name's Jess. I play Bronlyn, the Tiefling Druid. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. That's Just the Human, JESTHEHUMAN. And I'm going to popcorn over to Daryl.
I'm shocked. Hi, I'm
Shocked, I
Daryl.
tell you, shocked.
Shocked, I tell you, shocked. I've never been so shocked in my entire day. I play your resident Goliath, but not barbarian fighter, Brigand Stormbeard. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr_Daryl Dorsey, as well as on Twitch at Daryl Sucks at Gaming. I'm putting them both into the chat because spelling them out loud is a tedious effort. And thank you for watching. And I'm going to popcorn over to Laura.
All right, I'm Laura Perard. I play Kura, the Twilight Cleric. You can find me on Twitter and on Twitch at Laura Perard. That's both my names squished together. And on Instagram at Laura_Perard. And I'll popcorn over to Kyle.
Hi, I'm Kyle. This evening, I was Salem Klein, your human inquisitive rogue. You can find me on Twitter at Lord Kyle K. I will send it over to Matt.
Ooh. I'm Matt Fellman, and I've been playing the Doctor, the Elven Artificer Alchemist, and you can find me on the social medias. It's just at Matt Fellman down on the doobly-doo there, and yeah, you can find me on all the different social medias, the U-Twit face, and all that. And I'm gonna popcorn it over to Brian.
That's such a dad joke.
Guilty.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brian. I have been your DM or their DM, your DM as well. You can find me on Twitter at Voice of Bran, or you can find me wandering out in the middle of the woods.
All right, friends, and we did want to do a quick announcement. Tomorrow, September 1st, the Games Tavern is going to be participating in a day away from streaming, during which we're going to be encouraging staff, cast, and viewers to join in protest. We stand with the QT BIPOC community and against hate raids, and we'll spend the day listening to our community and uplifting QT BIPOC voices. And we also hope that you will do the same. So thank you everyone so much for joining, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Also, don't forget our tech goblin.
Ooh, yes, Noah, MVP.
Noah, our tech goblin behind the scenes.
We stand him.
Yeah.
Forced me to
Yes.
turn my peace out sign into the Batman dance.
And how come nobody does the Bat Tuesday anymore?
All right, friends, we're headed out. See you next week.
See you next
Nighty
Tuesday.
night.
Nah, well,
Play
I'm-
us off, Ollie.